Shalom. Kal Allah Yimla, Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach one to rule well, who taught me this truth. Peace and salutation to the Akyam, the fellow laborers, the hopeful elect, pushing this truth at risk of their own lives toward the four corners of the earth. To the Akwath listening and learning in sincerity and in truth and in silence, Shalom. This is your brother Shema from the GMS Toronto camp. Here in Toronto, here's another lesson, right? And nothing too long, a quick war report, right? And alongside with all these distractions, right? Alongside with the positioning for the MOTB, the Revelation 13 verse 16 on down, we also know that war is being brewed and getting ready, right? World War III, right? But I saw this alert yesterday, and the spirit came on me to bring out two precepts. But it says here, Putin, right? Berevitsnik missile has an unlimited range. It says there in the background, Russia's new weapon, right? So war is being prepared. Right, let's get that one in Joel chapter 3, Joel chapter 2, Joel 3 verse 9. It reads, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, right? These are the nations, right? Proclaim means to announce. Prepare war. That's this word, proclaim. Strong's H7121, Kara, in the Hebrew. To call out, recite, read, cry out, proclaim. To call, cry, utter a loud sound, right? To read aloud, right? And who's announcing this message of war? The prophets, right? And who's announcing among these heathen nations? All these heathen nations are this video clip that we're about to watch, Lord willing, is an announcement on Russia's part. Joel 3:9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, the military. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up, right? So these nations, listen, Russia's already in a spirit of war, man. His population, his men, his mighty men, right? The bear, right? They are in the spirit of war, right? These are the nations who are allied with Russia. They're in the spirit of war. North Korea, right? Pakistan, right? America, Babylon the Great. They are getting prepared for war. When you see these little skirmishes that are taking place, with the recent announcement of Trump announcing that to mobilize his aircraft carrier from Europe to the Caribbean Sea, right? Right, but we know it's all wars and rumors of war, right? Because the MOTB must be instituted, mandated worldwide, then World War III will come. But leading up into that, you're going to see various skirmishes, right? But this announcement, right, it's a new missile on Putin, from Putin.
Russia has tested a new nuclear-capable, nuclear-powered cruise missile. Russia's Chief of General Staff, General Valery Gerasimov, said the missile, named Burevestnik, covered some 14,000 kilometers during its testing on October 21st. Russian President Putin said it is a unique weapon which nobody else in the world has.
Russia has successfully tested its nuclear-powered Burevestnik cruise missile, a nuclear-capable weapon Moscow says can evade any defense system. President Vladimir Putin said that Russia needed to understand how to class the weapon and prepare infrastructure for deploying the Burevestnik.
Yeah, he's boasting that it can evade any detection, right? So that NORAD, you know, what was that dome that Trump was boasting in? The gold dome, the Golden Dome, or something like that. I can't recall. Right, none of that's gonna help. Right, I want to get Nahum 3. Right, the Spirit of the Lord is going to be on these missiles. Nahum 3. Nahum 3. Nahum 3 and 13, it reads, NLT, your troops will be as weak and helpless as women. The gates of your land will be opened wide to the enemy. Right, we saw that with the southern borders, man, being open wide open. All kind of sleeper cells came rolling through, right, and set on fire and burned. KJV, behold, thy people in the midst of these, in the midst of thee, are women, right? And the vibration of Moism and Skittles kids is rampant throughout the civilians as well as the military. The gates of thy land shall be set wide open unto thine enemies. Right? We saw that with the southern borders once again. Right? Sleeper cells rolling through like crazy. The fire shall devour thy bars, right? Your defense, right? The fire being the missiles. Thy bars, your defense, right? Your military defense systems, your NORAD, your early detection systems. Listen, the Spirit of the Lord is going to be on these missiles, right?
We will need to determine what this is and what class of weapon this new system belongs to. We need to determine its possible uses and begin preparing the infrastructure for deploying this weapon within our armed forces.
According to Chief of General Staff of Russia's Armed Forces, Valery Gerasimov, the missile traveled 14,000 kilometers and was in the air for about 15 hours.
This test was conducted on October 21st. Indeed, its difference from previous tests was that the missile flew for several hours, covering a distance of 14,000 kilometers. And that's not the limit. Nuclear powered, yes. And the Burevestnik's performance characteristics generally allow it to be used with guaranteed accuracy against protected targets at any distance.
So what is Russia's Burevestnik missile? 9M730 Burevestnik, whose name translates as Storm Petrel, is a ground-launched, low-flying cruise missile that is not only capable of carrying a nuclear warhead, but is also nuclear-powered. NATO refers to it as the SSC X-9 Skyfall. Putin.
Let's get a scripture. Second Esdras 16 and 7, and it reads, may one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer, right? And what are these arrows? The missiles. What are these strong archers? The silos, ICBMs being shot from other nations, Russia, Pakistan. Right? Russia's the strong archer, right? North Korea is the strong archer. The mighty Lord Yahweh sendeth the plagues, right? The ultimate plague being the missiles, the destruction. And who is he that can drive them away, right? Your defenses won't turn them away, won't intercept. They're going to hit their mark, right? The Spirit of the Lord is going to be on these missiles. A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it, right? The Lord's wrath, right? Right. Well, the end is written. He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence, right? Beaten to powder, man. Right? These elites think they're gonna hide in their bunkers, right? And come out of the ashes and rise like a phoenix. These elites think they will fight the return of Yahushua with their space army, right? It's not going to work.
Putin has said it has an unlimited range and can evade US missile defenses. Putin called it a unique wear which nobody else in the world has. Russia's top general, Valery Gerasimov, chief of the General Staff of Russia's armed forces, told Putin that in October 21st test, the missile traveled 14,000 kilometers and was in the air for about 15 hours. He said it traveled on...
Yo, that's impressive. 15 hours, man, in the air.
Nuclear power could defeat any missile defense and has an unlimited range. Putin had first revealed the project in March 2018. Also, on Thursday, Putin said that Moscow would never bow to pressure from the United States or any other foreign power, and cautioned that it would deliver an overwhelming response to any military strikes deep inside.
And listen, Russia's, let's get that scripture, hooks in the jaws. Russia's going back into that Cold War, Peter the Great spirit. Hooks. That's in Ezekiel. Ezekiel 38 and 4, and it reads, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. Right? The Lord's putting the spirit of old, that warmonger spirit on Russia, that Cold War spirit on Russia. He's putting him back in that Peter the Great spirit. And I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, right? They're military. Even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them holding swords, right? They're military, man, armed up, ready to go, right? Their drones, their tanks, their ICBMs, right? Persia, right? Iran, these are their allies. Ethiopia and Libya with them, right? Allied with them. All of them with shield and helmet, right? They're allies, man. Right? Scripture say, these shall hate the whore. Something's going to pop off where there's going to be a fraction, a disagreement, a breakup amongst the NATO EU nations, right? Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah, right? Turkey, right? And Turkey's a European Union nation of the North Quarters, and all his bands and many people with thee, right? They're going to be allied up and say, look at this whore, right? Right. everything we see happening is the build-up, the posturing, the mobilization in preparation for World War III, which will only come after the mark of the beast is mandated worldwide. Verse 7, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Right? So Russia, with these smaller, weaker nations, is going to be a guard, a big brother, so to speak, for smaller, not as militarized as them nations. Right? Listen, Iran is an ally of Russia, man. Right? I want to close Jeremiah 51. Jeremiah 51 and 30. I had a cue. Jeremiah 51. Jeremiah 50, Salakia. Jeremiah 50 and 41. We'll close with that.
Inside Russia. Go to pressure from the United States or any other foreign power, and caution that it would deliver an overwhelming response to any military strikes deep inside Russia. Also, on Thursday, Putin said that Moscow would never bow to pressure from the United States or any other foreign power, and cautioned that it would deliver an overwhelming response to any military strikes deep inside Russia.
Indeed, there is a lot of speculation going on right now, and Zelensky himself, incidentally, recently stated that they allegedly possess the military potential to strike into Russia. Naturally, our armed forces and Russia will respond harshly to this, and as Putin said, staggeringly.
Putin on Wednesday oversaw a test of Russia's strategic nuclear forces on land, sea, and air to rehearse their readiness and command structure. Bureau Report, DD India.
All prophecy, right? Jeremiah 50 and 41. It reads, behold, a people shall come from the north, right? Russia, and a great nation.
Please welcome the Prime Minister of Malaysia, the Prime Minister of the...
Slovakia. This YouTube feed has a mind of its own, man. Jeremiah 50. That's not the one I wanted. Jeremiah 50. It's not the one I wanted. Jeremiah 50 and 41. Behold, a people shall come from the north, and a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. That north is Russia, right? Verse 42. They shall hold the bow and the lance, right? The missiles. They are cruel and will not show mercy, right? That's the spirit that Russia is going to come in, man. Cruel and not show mercy, right? Listen, them troops, them Russian troops, man, they don't play around. Their voice shall roar like the sea, and they shall ride upon horses, right? Them missiles, man, right? Everyone put in array like a man to the battle. The missiles are going to come in an organized form, array, right? Everyone put in array like a man to the battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon, right? Daughter of Babylon. That's how we know this is talking about America, the daughter of Babylon, America the Great, Babylon the Great. Right, verse 43. The king of Babylon hath heard the report of them, right? And these news reports, these press releases. America, Babylon the Great's top Congress is hearing these reports, and his hands waxed feeble, anguish took hold of him, and pangs as of a woman in travail. Right, and ultimately, when World War III is declared, right, these Babylonian leaders, right, they're going to be in fear, right? They're going to be awestruck and in fear at the might and the presence of the might and the presence of Russia's military. Right, but yeah, that's it on that, man. Didn't want to go too long. You know, I pray you're edified. Call Allah Yahweh Bashim Yashai Bashim Rakakorash. The water Yah Bashim Yashai for the Spirit to bring out this lesson. Pray edified. Shalom, on to the next.